Deja vu, life's little rerun. You walk into your favorite boutique, the scent of sandalwood and roses, the soft chime of the door. A sales associate calls out a price for a dress you somehow know before they say it. A fluffy white chihuahua barks angrily at your leg, and then it hits you. You've been here before, exactly like this. You don't just recognize the moment, you remember what happens next. The fashion blogger at the next table will spill her matcha latte. The girl by the window will get a text from that guy. In 10 seconds, the door will swing open, but you already know who's coming through. Science says deja vu is a glitch, a momentary confusion in your brain where your mind accidentally tags the present as a past memory. But if deja vu is just a brain error, why does it feel so profoundly real? Some believe deja vu isn't a glitch at all. It's proof that time isn't a straight line, that you've lived this moment before, that maybe you're in a loop, or, worse, you've passed on in another timeline. And if that's true, how many times have you already been here? Sleep paralysis, the unwanted guest. It happens in the dead of night. Your eyes snap open, you can see your bedroom, the ceiling, the soft glow of the moonlight through the curtains. Everything is familiar and normal. Except you can't move, not a single muscle. It's like being a doll, perfectly aware but completely frozen. You try to scream for help, but your voice is trapped in your throat, and then you feel it. A presence, a shadow standing in the corner of your room. This is sleep paralysis. And if you haven't experienced it yet, congratulations. You've dodged the universe's most terrifying free sample. People describe it as being a prisoner in your own body. Science calls it a simple sleep cycle disruption. During deep REM sleep, your body paralyzes your muscles to stop you from acting out your dreams. If you wake up too suddenly, your mind is alert, but your body is still locked down. It's supposed to last a few seconds, maybe a minute. But for the person experiencing it, it can feel like an eternity. And here's where it gets truly strange. For some reason, sleep paralysis doesn't just come with paralysis. It comes with company. People from different cultures, across history, from completely separate parts of the world, all describe seeing the exact same thing, a dark silhouette watching them. If this is just a random brain glitch, why are millions of people having the exact same hallucination? There are two possibilities. 1. The human brain is hardwired to conjure terrifying figures in this state, a cruel little evolutionary prank designed to make an awful experience even worse. Or 2, these things are always there, and sleep paralysis is just the one time you're actually able to see them. Spontaneous combustion, reality's hottest exit. Imagine you're curled up on the sofa with a cozy blanket and your favorite comfort show. Nothing out of the ordinary. Then, without any warning, you burst into flames. Not because you're too close to a candle, not because your blanket caught fire. No, you ignite from the inside out, and by the time anyone finds you, all that's left is a small pile of ash and maybe your perfectly intact pair of favorite slippers. This is spontaneous human combustion, one of the most bizarre and unsettling phenomena ever recorded. Science has a lot of answers, but on this one, they're stumped. Some half-baked explanations include the wick effect, where body fat acts like candle wax, slowly burning a person away. But if that's true, why does it sometimes stop halfway? Take Margaret Hogan, an 89-year-old widow from Dublin. In 1970, she was found burned almost to nothing in her home. The plastic flowers on a nearby table had melted into a puddle, and a television screen 12 feet away was warped from the heat. And yet, her feet and both legs below the knees were completely untouched. An official inquest was held. The cause of death: burning. The cause of the fire: unknown. This means either 1, the human body has a hidden self-destruct button. 2, some people accidentally trigger a catastrophic system crash in their own body. Or 3, reality occasionally decides to just force quit someone in the most dramatic way possible. Whichever it is, the conclusion is the same. If one day you start feeling a little too warm and you're nowhere near an open flame, You might have about 3 seconds to figure out why. Missing time. Life on autopilot. It's 8:15 p.m. You sit down with a face mask and the first episode of a new series. You blink. Now it's 11:50 p.m. You didn't doze off. You didn't get lost scrolling on your phone, but somehow nearly 4 hours have vanished. The official term is highway hypnosis, when your brain goes on autopilot during a repetitive task. The idea is your brain is awake, but your memory function hits pause. Sounds plausible, except some people experience missing time when they're perfectly still. They'll be sitting at home, deep in a good book, and suddenly it's dark outside. A person doing their skincare routine looks up at the clock and finds a whole hour is gone. And some say it happens right in the middle of everyday activities. You're sitting, sipping your morning coffee, scrolling through your feed, and then bam! You suddenly realize 2 hours have passed on the clock, even though it felt like only a couple of minutes. As if someone hit pause on your life. Some people say that during these missing moments, they get a feeling something else was happening, but they aren't supposed to remember it. It's like someone edited out the boring parts of your life's vlog, trimming the timeline, and removing the scenes that didn't make the final cut. Things we were never meant to see. The bystander effect. Waiting for the main character. You're at a crowded concert, and someone near the front faints. They crumple to the ground, completely unconscious. A circle forms, phones come out, but nobody moves. You wait for someone to help, maybe a kind soul, maybe someone with first aid training, but instead everyone just stands there, watching. That's the bystander effect, a strange social glitch where the more people there are, the less likely anyone is to do something. Everyone assumes someone else will step up, but because everyone thinks that, nobody does. And it gets stranger. There are cases where whole groups of people have just watched something terrible happen, even when it would have been incredibly easy to intervene. A person choking in a busy cafe, a woman being harassed in broad daylight, even a child in distress. Nobody wants to be the first to break the spell, to take responsibility. It's as if they're all background actors, stuck in a pose, waiting for their cue from the director. They're all waiting for the main character, anyone, to start the scene. And what if, just for a moment, we consider that this isn't just psychology? What if some people really do operate like background characters? What if some only spring to life when they're directly spoken to? If that's true, then the next time you're in a crowd, look around. Is everyone really in the same movie as you? The Mandela effect. When reality gets a retouch. Let's do a little pop quiz. Does the iconic Hello Kitty character have a mouth? Think carefully. You've seen her on 1,000 products since you were a little girl. You know what she looks like. So, yes or no? If you said yes, congratulations, you've just experienced the Mandela effect. Hello Kitty has never had a mouth. Not on the toys, not in the cartoons, not anywhere. And yet, millions of people swear she did. All right, let's try another. In Breakfast at Tiffany's, does Holly Golightly's iconic black dress have a zipper or buttons down the back? Of course it has a zipper. You've seen that poster a million times. Except it doesn't. It never has. The Mandela effect is this bizarre phenomenon where huge groups of people remember something one way, only to discover it never existed like that. At least, not anymore. The name comes from Nelson Mandela. Countless people remember him dying in prison in the 1980s. They recall seeing the funeral on TV, reading the headlines, even talking about it at school. Except that never happened. He was released, became president of South Africa, and passed away in 2013. So how do millions of people share the same false memory? The official theory is that human memory is flawed, easily influenced. A few people misremember, they tell others, and soon the false memory spreads like gossip. But if so many people remember things one way and history says otherwise, what if reality just had an update without your knowledge? It's like your phone app updated without you realizing it, and now all the icons are in different places. But your memory stubbornly shows the old screen. What if your version of reality just didn't sync up? Some believe this proves we're shifting between alternate timelines, occasionally moving into a slightly different version of reality where our memories haven't fully synced up. Others think it's just bad cosmic maintenance. Reality gets a makeover, but the stylists missed a few details. Either way, if you ever notice something changing that shouldn't be able to change, it's already too late. Doppelgangers. Who wore it better? Imagine walking through a shopping mall and seeing you. Not just a lookalike, but you. Same face, same limited edition sneakers, same messy bun, same way you push your hair back from your face. At first, your mind races for a logical explanation, a long-lost twin, a bizarre coincidence. But then she looks right at you, and you see the recognition in her eyes. Throughout history, people have reported seeing their own double, and it's almost never a good sign. One such story involves Queen Elizabeth I. It's said that shortly before her death, she saw herself lying on her bed, pale and lifeless. Her ladies-in-waiting, who were by her side, also noted something strange in her behavior and appearance during those days. This was seen as an ominous premonition of her impending demise. And, as we know, the Queen passed away shortly thereafter. Now, perhaps she was exhausted, or maybe her brain just conjured an extra image, or maybe it's just a glitch in the simulation, like reality accidentally copy-pasted you for a moment. Maybe you just caught a glimpse of yourself from a parallel universe, or maybe something else is trying to steal your look. Either way, if you ever see someone who looks exactly like you, turn and walk the other way. Fast quantum immortality. The universe's undo button. You should be gone. That car ran the red light, and you were right there. It missed you by a hair's breadth. Just good luck. Or maybe you just can't die. Quantum immortality is the theory that every time you face a fatal end, your consciousness doesn't go to heaven or hell. It just hops over to the nearest parallel universe where you made it out okay. From your point of view, you're just incredibly lucky. You just keep waking up in timelines where you had a close call. Take Frane Selak, a man who should have died multiple times. In 1954, his train derailed into an icy river. People drowned, but he survived. The next year, he was sucked out of a plane mid-flight and landed in a haystack. Then a bus crash, multiple car accidents, a car explosion, and to top it all off, he won the lottery. From his perspective, he never died. And that's the terrifying part. If quantum immortality is real, you will never experience your own death. The versions of you that died, you don't remember them because they're gone. But what happens when there are no timelines left where you survive? Is there a final game over? Or does reality just keep you going, no matter what? And if that's the case, how long have you actually been alive? Thanks for watching. Make sure to give the video a like. Bye.